this one, is it?
Yes.
And after that,
Just
discussion.
discussion,
Okay.
or, I mean, you can also maybe it's really not private.
So we start with Jai Radha Madhava, right? Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Vihari. So we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 25. Today we are reading the summary of this chapter. So the topic here is the how all the residents of Varanasi become Vaishnavas. The following is a summary of chapter 25. A Maharashtrian Brahmana who was living in Banaras was a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was always very happy to hear the glories of the Lord, and it was by his arrangement that all the sannyasis of Varanasi became devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you. He invited all the sannyasis to his house to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this incident has been described in the 7th chapter of the Adi Lila. From that day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became famous in the city of Varanasi, and many important men in that city became his followers. By and by, one of the disciples of great sannyasi, Prakashananda Saraswati, became devoted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his devotee explained Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Prakashananda Saraswati and supported his view with various arguments. One day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to take a bath at Prakanda, and afterwards all his devotees began chanting the Hare Krishna mantra in front of the temple of Bindu Madhav. At this time, Prakashananda Saraswati and all his devotees approached the Lord. Prakashananda Saraswati immediately fell down at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and very much regretted his past behavior towards the Lord. He asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about devotional service in terms of Vedanta Sutra. And the Lord told him about devotional service that is approved by great personality who know the Vedanta Sutra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then pointed out that Srimad Bhagavatam is the proper commentary on Vedanta Sutra. He then explained the Chatur Shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, the essence of the scriptures. From that day on, all the sannyasis of Varanasi became devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before returning to his quarters at Jagannath Puri, the Lord advised Sanatana Goswami to go to Vrindavan. The Lord then departed for Jagannath Puri. Kaviraj Goswami then describes something about Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Subudhi Raya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri through the great forest of Jharikhand in central India. At the end of this chapter, Kaviraj Goswami sums up the incident of the Madhya Leela and instructs every living being to read the sublime book of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. Om Jnanam Timrintasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sadpadantikam. Sri Krishna, He Krishna Kana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brinda Shari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpataru Bhasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaye Vacha Patita Nam Paune Bheo Vaishnava Bheo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the summary. The chapter is finished. Yeah. So it's a nice, only very limited people, so we can have good conversation. So how many of you, or do you know Varanasi? Do you know this city called Varanasi? Have you heard about it? Yeah, so the Varanasi is also called Kashi. And there is at this moment, there is a very famous temple of Kashi Vishwanath, which is the temple of Lord Shiva. And it is said by historians that Kashi is older than civilization. It is one of the first settlement in this human civilization. Means it is very, very, very old civilization. And Kashi has always been the melting point of culture and faith. Okay? Nothing to do with Krishna consciousness, what I'm talking now. It's purely from the evolution of Kashi. And in Kashi, it is said that if you leave your body in Kashi, okay, you go to Swargaloka. Okay, so that's why many of, if you go to Kashi, okay, it's very, very old, and many of the people, especially from the North India part, Bengal and all, they move to Kashi in their old age. And people have the desire that when they leave their body, they are burned in the ghats of Kashi. Even if you go today, okay, there are fire every 24/7. The ghats, somebody is being burned there. So that's the importance of Kashi in the minds of people. And in Kashi there are various ghats. Okay, one of them is called Manikarnika Ghat. Have you heard about this name, Manikarnika? No, quite a famous. So Manikarnika Ghat is quite famous. A lot of this important people, they go there. Okay, because the Manikarnika, the Karnika means ear, from the Lord's ear, okay, the ring fell there. So that's why it is called Manikarnika. So that's a very brief description. So we read the Shastra, but we are not able to, most of the time, the relatable that what place we are talking about. Okay, so Kashi has always been, even if you go near Kashi, there is a samadhi of Lord Buddha. Yeah, the Buddhists, they go there. The place is called Sarnath. Okay, it's near Varanasi, Kashi. So now that's a background. It's a very, very important place, okay, in the history of humankind. And Kashi was predominantly dominated by the Mayavadis, okay. And the fountainhead of, during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time, okay, the fountainhead of Mayavad was Prakashanand Saraswati. Yeah. So Mahaprabhu was always traveling, okay, and he used to distribute the mercy of the Lord. And as I said, it's not just a city. So I gave you the description how it is. It is on the banks of river Ganges. Okay, it's not just city. It's basically a capital, you can say, of impersonalism. Okay, the stronghold of Mayavadi philosophy, and for the millions of years, okay, the people believed that the liberation, because the whole concept of Sanatana philosophy is to get liberation, right? And the liberation, as per the Mayavadi philosophy, that the liberation comes from knowledge, renunciation, and ultimately you merge into the Brahma Jyoti. So that's the Mayavadi philosophy. Yeah. And all this, whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was doing, right? The kirtan, bhajan, bhakti, dancing and all, okay, as per them, these are useless. Okay, and that was the difference of opinion between the Vaishnavism and the Mayavad philosophy. Okay, one thing we need to look at that in the present context, in Sanatan philosophy, there are very Mayavadi, Vaishnavism, Saivites, there are various philosophies, but they never, physically fight with each other to prove their point or to enforce. They never enforce their views. Okay, all this were, the fight was always at the intellectual level. Intellectual level means we have a base that this is what Shastra says, and now discuss our understanding. Okay, compare that to other faiths. Okay, it's always about my way is highway, and wherever these people went, especially the Yavans and the people, the religion emanated from Middle East, right? They impose their thoughts on others, not through Tarkic discussion, not through intellectual discussion, but by force. Okay. One of the examples was that recently in India, they commemorated the 1000th year of the destruction of Somnath. Have anybody heard about Somnath? Somnath is near, on the western side of India, near Dwarka. Okay, Dwarka, have you heard about Dwarka? Yes. Yeah. So Somnath is another peeth of Lord Shiva, and it was destructed thousands years back by the invaders. And when they destruct it, okay, in order to humiliate your thoughts, okay, they destroy the deity of the Lord and place on the road or on the mosque so that people can walk on that. So that kind of humiliation. So that's a difference between Sanatan culture and other cultures. Okay, even if we have difference in opinion, okay, we sit and discuss. Okay, so here when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he went to Varanasi, okay, he was considered as an emotionalist. Okay, that the Mayavadi always used to think that these people are just dancing, going and all, okay. They do not know, they do not have the right understanding of the Shastra. Okay, and that's the myth which Mahaprabhu has to break. Mahaprabhu, he broke the influence of Mayavadi not by force. Yeah, no, he broke the influence just by his arguments. Okay, we may have heard the discussion between Keshav Kashmiri and Mahaprabhu, right? There has never been a physical fight, okay, to convey your language, okay, that God looks like this is how you get the liberation, okay. But if you look at current world, right, it's all about force, and the force could be by wealth or by physical force, it could be anything. Yeah, so how did Mahaprabhu convince the residents of Varanasi? By his actions. Yeah, Mahaprabhu, even though he was Supreme Personality of Lordhead, okay, he had no ego. Okay, he stayed at the house of Chandrasekhara. He took the local meals at the house of Tapan Mishra. Okay, and spent his time, the whole time he was spending within the people, okay, chanting with them, dancing with them, and all these were criticized by the Mayavadis. They used to think that this Bengali sannyasi does not study Vedanta at all. Okay, he only chants and dances like sentimentals. Okay, but what did Mahaprabhu do? He did not protest. Okay, he did not went and demean them. He did not go and criticize them, right? He did not bring his people that, oh, these people are not listening to me. You must force them to listen to me and must force them to accept my thoughts. Yeah, he did not even criticize them. Okay, in fact, he said that my spiritual master considered me a fool. And these behaviors basically melted the heart of the residents of Varanasi. Look, you can win the others by two ways. Either you pin down him by force, okay, or you change his mind, or you change his heart. Okay. It depends upon which path you, if somebody is not listening to me, okay, what option do I have if I am, in the current scenario, okay, what others do? They go and slap, right? But Mahaprabhu did not even criticize the people. Okay. He took a very, very minimalistic position. Okay. And that's why one of the things which we need to remember that the essence of the life of Mahaprabhu, okay, is basically what? Humility. Okay, always remember that humility is the weapon of the weak. If a person is very weak, okay, the humility becomes his weapon. And for a strong person, humility is ornament. It glitters on his face, the humbleness. And if you summarize in one word the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the personification of humility. He was humbler than the blade of grass. That's what Mahaprabhu says. So eventually, Mahaprabhu, he met the leader of Mayavadis, Prakashananda Saraswati. And Prakashananda Saraswati, he invited Mahaprabhu to his place. When Mahaprabhu entered the assembly of the thousands of sannyasi at the Prakashananda's place, okay, he sat near the place where people used to wash their feet. Yeah? And looking and seeing this, Prakashananda Saraswati was absolutely stunned that he is, in the heart, Prakashananda Saraswati also knew that he is not an ordinary soul. But for that person to sit the place, okay, where I mean, even in temple, which place is considered the most minimalistic place? Is the place where we go and wash our hand and all, right? So Mahaprabhu sits there. Prakashananda was shocked, and he asked him, "Why are you sitting there? You are a sannyasi. Come and sit with us." Mahaprabhu replied, "I am lower than everyone here. I am not fit to sit among the learned sannyasi." Yeah? And that was his strength. That was the ornament, which I just said, that humility is the ornament of a strong person. If a person is strong, now see here, whenever some big people come, even in the temple, right? If we see they are coming in a very arrogant way, does anybody likes that? No. But we always talk that, oh, he's the president of this country. He was such a nice person. He came, he put a dandavat, he talked to the people very nicely. He sat among us. He had his prasadam among all of us. We discussed this, right? That's the effect humility has on the mind of people. Yeah? If the person is weak, okay, he can get all his work done just by becoming humble. Just by becoming humble, he can achieve all his objective. That's the power of humility. You don't have to be President of America in order to get your job done. A simple behavior of yours can get you whatever you need. Yeah, so then Prakashananda Saraswati, he asks, why don't you study Vedanta like other sannyasis? Mahaprabhu answered with powerful truth. My Guru Maharaj told me, you are not qualified to study Vedanta. Simply chant the holy name. Then Mahaprabhu quoted, Hare Nam, Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva Gahar Annatha. In this age of Kali, there is no other way than chanting the holy name. And these verse, okay, basically struck at the core of the heart of the sannyasis there. And it struck them very deeply. Mahaprabhu then explained Vedanta, not sentimentally, but perfectly. He showed the direct meaning of Vedanta is bhakti and not impersonalism. Mayavad is covering the truth. And he described that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. He described the different forms of Lord Sri Krishna, his qualities, and among the assembly of the sannyasis, he explained the pastime of Lord Sri Krishna. And he told them that liberation without devotion is not complete, is incomplete. He declares, Mayavad bhasya sunile hoy sarvanas. Among the Mayavadi, sannyasis, he's declaring, hearing Mayavad philosophy destroys everything. Not with anger, but with clarity, compassion, and spiritual proof. What happened next is astonishing. The same sannyasis who criticized Mahaprabhu, they all fell at his feet. And they began chanting the Hari name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And with this, all the residents of Varanasi, all the streets of Varanasi became filled with Kirtana. The streets echoed with Hari Hari. This is why this chapter is called, that all residents of Varanasi became Vaishnava. And if you look the life of Srila Prabhupada, right? Okay. His life, he also very humbly during all his time, right? Even in Calcutta, when he was there, he used to ask people to chant the Hari name. He will himself will print the Back to God magazine. Okay, he will do the proofreading, everything, and he will basically distribute to, even though there were no takers, but he keeps on doing that. Very, very humbly, he went all the way to America, right? He stayed with those people who even used to have meat in their refrigerator. But Prabhupada gone through those suffering. That's called humility. And when we say about Guru Parampara, it's not that, I have XYZ Guru, I am coming in that Parampara. That doesn't give us the power. The power of bhakti, or the power or the lesson which a disciple should learn from his or her Guru, okay, is how his Guru behaved. Okay? And the prime example is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was the Lord himself. Okay? So all this, why do we read scripture? We don't read the scripture to show that I am a very learned person. That's never been the objective of the scriptures. Okay? The objective of the scriptures, reading the scripture, assimilating the scripture within us, is basically to follow our forefathers, what they did. Forefathers means our previous acharyas and gurus. Okay? That's the main objective. When we read Bhagavatam, why do we read Bhagavatam? Okay? If you go to, here it's not there. If you open Indian TV, okay, there are hundreds of people speaking Bhagavatam. Hundreds of channels and people are speaking Bhagavatam. But those Bhagavatam is not to make people devotee. It's basically satisfying their ego that I am also religious. Yesterday I was talking to somebody here that what is the difference between Prabhupada as a sannyasi, as a guru, okay, and other spiritualists which came during that point of time. If you go and ask on the street, okay, that name the institution, have you heard about Ravi Shankar? No, he's quite famous in India. Okay, if you go and ask the institution which Sri Sri Ravi Shankar created, okay, very few people will tell, but his name everybody knows. Okay, and there are many others. Nobody knows that what institution they have created, okay, but their name is there. But when, at least which me attracted very much towards Prabhupada, is that I knew about Hare Krishna, that there are people called Hare Krishna who dance and all. I knew about ISKCON, but I never knew who is the man behind it, which was Prabhupada. Right? When we started reading, when we came into Hare Krishna, then we knew that this is the person. So, Prabhupada always kept Lord at the front. He never tried to become a popular man. His objective was not to popularize himself, unlike other gurus or religious cult. Okay. What he did, he followed the principle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what was the principle? That distribute the Harinam. Okay? Distribute the Harinam all over the world. And who instructed him to distribute that? That was his guru. His guru instructed that please preach this message of Lord Krishna, because he was very good in English, right? So his guru knew it. Okay, so he gave the instruction to Prabhupada that please preach the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Harinam to all over the world. Yeah. So coming back to humility, that's the thing which we learned. Once in Hyderabad, there was I think it's a very old story, around 35 years old. Now, how humility helps you? Okay, so there was a kind of argument between the devotees and the local police in Hyderabad with related to some temple constructions and all. And devotees, as usual, they are very fired up, okay, and they were basically arguing with the police and all, and it was a very big commotion. And that time, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was there in Hyderabad. So then he came, and Maharaj has a very big body, right? Now he's quite old, but that time he was very big body and all. So Maharaj walked all the way up to the police station, and all the devotees have been thinking that Maharaj will go and blast the police officer, okay, and create a scene there, okay, because the police officer was troubling the devotees. And Maharaj went there, such a great person, and he went and fell down Dandavata to the police officer. So what job these people could not do after so many hours of fighting, only one act of humility by Maharaj. And the police officer was stunned. Okay, that such a great personality is basically falling in front of me. So that's the power of humility. Yeah. So, so the question is why Mahaprabhu succeeded where others failed. The reason was, as we said, humility. The second was pure character. One of the things is that there is no substitute for the purity. We can always say, yeah, it's okay. But in our life also, you all are in temple, right? You'll be seeing, and I'm not criticizing anybody, okay? Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about the people, okay, character. You'll be seeing that some people, Prabhus or Matajis, whenever they are doing some work, they are doing it very meticulously. It's not that they have come here to do the seva and just do the seva and just go. It's basically they are focused. They are taking seva, not how to use that word. It's not that they have been given the job and they are coming and doing it. They really love doing the job with precision and going into details. You might have seen somebody is cooking very methodically. Okay, not just that. Oh, I have been given this seva. Oh, Sunday morning breakfast. Come and just cook something. No, they don't cook something. They literally put their hearts. Our Maharaj, he says that sign of love is going into detail. Jai Jai Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Once, a very normal example, a mother who loves her child, okay, has every idea about how when the child wake up, when the child go to bed, when the child need food, what kind of food, whether the child likes sweet or salted, everything. That's called love. We have here the word loving service. What does that mean? Loving service. Service is service. What does the loving service means? There will be people who will be decorating. Now see such a nice decoration to the Lord. I mean, you can also come and just put some cloth and all, right? But when somebody is decorating with love, that makes a big difference. Okay? So, sign of love is going into detail. If you love somebody, probably you know quite a lot about that person. Okay? So, that's the pure character. Why I'm bringing this word called pure character? Because these are the learnings which we need to have. Whenever we are doing any seva or we are serving any devotee, it's not just doing the service out of obligation. It should be done out of love. And service could be anything. Okay, I know there is one Prabhu, when he cleans the dining hall, okay, it's really clean. Many people I have seen, it's a simply, oh, it was my job, I cleaned it. But it is really not clean. But there are some devotees, okay, who really ensures that this place is clean in the sense that there is nothing around it. Okay. Somebody who will be cooking, you will see that they make sure that each and every item is basically cooked properly. Okay, you may see something is just cooked. Okay, so for that matter, any service, okay, which we see or which we do, that should be done with right intention, and that's called purity of the character. Strict personal practice. Okay, and this is very, there is a saying that, especially for the children don't listen to you, they follow you. You can ask your children, okay, that please don't watch TV. And then you come and you will watch TV. Okay, that's the child or somebody can see the contradiction. So basically what does means that walk the talk. So if I'm talking something, I should be the first one to walk on it. Okay. So that's a strict personal practice. Total faith in the holy name. So these are the 4 reasons, okay, why Varanasi, why Mahaprabhu was so much successful in changing the heart of the resident of the Varanasi. Mahaprabhu never said, I was pointing out that, right? That Prabhupada never said, worship me. Prabhupada never put him in front of Krishna. There are so many gurus, at least I have seen, came out of India. They all started with Krishna bhajan. Everybody started with Krishna bhajan. But ultimately, everybody became famous, Krishna remained somewhere else. At least in my knowledge, it was only Prabhupada who basically always said, don't follow me, follow Mahaprabhu or follow Krishna. And Mahaprabhu always said, don't follow me, follow Krishna. So, the summary of this is that whenever we talk to somebody, they don't listen to us, okay? They follow us, they look at our behavior. So as a devotee, our behavior should be based on what we are following. It should not be that I give here some lecture, okay, and go outside, do something else. Yeah? Yeah. So, Varanasi was one of the example, right? Prabhupada had changed so many Varanasis. He went all over the world, okay? And Before Prabhupada, nobody knew who is Krishna. And now if you go to the whole world, right, he has made so many Varanasi. Everywhere there is some Sankirtan or Nagar Sankirtan is going on. But still there is a lot to left, right? There are many Varanasis which are still there, where the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has not reached. And it's the duty of the devotees in Hare Krishna movement, so basically follow the path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and spread the message of Lord Sri Krishna. I stop with that. There was no shloka, this was just a summary. Yeah. If you have any question or something, feel free. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you very much for a nice lecture. So I was wondering, how can we cultivate this humility without like putting ourselves down? Because if we put ourselves down, it's also like kind of ego, because I'm thinking, oh, I'm the worst, I'm not like it to be here.
Yeah.
That's also kind of like the ego can still come up. So how can we instead cultivate this humility where we don't think so much about ourselves?
Correct, it's a very nice question. The only thing is that it's not easy to pin down our ego. Yeah, the ego is right here, right? So, look, I mean, I also don't have 100% control on my ego. Okay. So I don't want to give a big lecture on this, okay, but I can just say that thinking about Lord, reading about just look at, in Bhagavatam, okay, it describes stories, right? And why it does not tell us that do this, do this, do this, okay? We have to learn from these stories that when this person did like this, what was the impact, okay? So, how to explain it? So if you want to be humble, okay, then you need to follow the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's very easy to read that, to even humbler than the blade of grass. But what does this mean? That when we put our leg on the blade of grass, okay, when we walk, the grass again comes out, right? Okay, it does not bite us back, okay? But think about, if I am sitting there, somebody is passing me, just touching with my leg, okay, it's not easy to control our anger. It's not easy, okay? So, what I understand from all the lectures and all, it's only the chanting the Harinam, okay, and listening to sadhus and sannyasis, and also reading the scriptures. That's the only way to control our ego, because these are built-in factors, right? This comes with us. It's there, very much there. The ego is there. It needs to be shaded out. Okay. There are some features, when we go to market, buy a product, there are some features which are built-in features. Okay, ego is one of them, especially in Kali Yuga, because when we were conceived in our mother's womb, okay, it was not, the environment was not that much pure, okay, so that it makes us perfect from the birth itself, okay. In case of great personality, it did happen because their parents were religious, okay, when they conceive the child, they start reading Bhagavatam, they start hearing the glories of the Lord, they start hearing all the pastime of the Lord. Okay. At least in my case, it was not there, right? So, when we were conceived in the mother's womb, we did not get, all those things to hear, because the child can hear, right? And that's why in Krishna consciousness, the devotees, when they conceive, they read Bhagavatam, so that those qualities goes into the child, So that is one of the things. So for the future child, you can think about that. But what about us? Okay, for us, the only way is basically to hearing sadhu and shastra, reading reading the scriptures, and serving the devotee. Serving the devotee without any expectation. If we serve with expectation that I did cooking today, tomorrow she will do or he will do because I have done for her. Not with that mood. Somebody is asking us that, okay, can you help me? Help without expectation. Help somebody without expectation that he will also help me. The moment this comes, then it's not devotional service. It does not purify us. It is always looking for, it's basically becoming a barter system. Okay, that I help you, you help me. If you don't help me, I don't help you. This will keep on feeding to our ego.
But what do we do when we recognize that you're expecting something? Like, what should we do?
Correct. I mean, look, most of the people, and since I'm from India, I can tell you, most of the people in India goes to temple not for bhakti, that, oh God, please give me bhakti. No. When I was studying, even in college, I used to go to temple just to, my exam is coming. Okay, please, this time I must pass. Okay, I will give you 1,000 rupees. So most of the, and I'm not telling this is wrong, yeah? At least for something people are turning towards Lord. So that's why it is okay. Okay. But human tendency, natural human tendency is always give and take. Okay. And that's what we do with Lord also. Okay. That has gone so much in with Lord also we do a deal that if I get this $1 million contract, 20% is yours. With Lord. I went to one temple in America. Very big temple. I won't name it in the organization. Hindu temple. So the person who was giving me tour, he was telling that this Lord is very, very active. Very, very potency, very high potency. You give 1 million, you get 10 million. That's the deal. So, it's as long as you have expectation, okay, forget about humility. It will never. Now, now the question is that as a human being, should not we expect something? Right? All of us has certain expectation. Even in bhakti also we have expectation that let my bhakti grow. We have this expectation. Now, on one hand, I'm telling that don't have expectation. But if you do not have expectation that my bhakti should grow, even then what I'm doing? So these are the, what we call, these are the confusions which we always have, right? That one hand we are told don't have expectation, but without expectation, how to progress in life? If I am totally dry, if I come to the temple, totally dry. I don't have any material expectation. I don't have any spiritual expectation also. That's a dry person, right? Anything happening, he is not touched by that. Okay. Is that good? That is also not good. So, all this, whatever we say, that expectation and what we call, we should have fire in our thoughts. If we direct towards Krishna, this is good. So expectation from Lord that please, oh Lord, please bless me so that my bhakti prospers, I am able to serve you more and more, that's a good expectation. But the other side is not good. That's my limited understanding. Okay, but it's not easy to be humble. And to become humble, we need to do those work which makes us humble. Okay. We should not always look for, because if you always look for this top job, okay, humility will never come. Look, even those rich people who have grown from the grassroots, mostly they are humble. Those who have directly went there, okay, even in devotees also, okay, you might have seen some devotees who has gone through very difficult times in the temple, and then he became temple president and all. Okay, his behavior, and somebody coming, okay, yesterday and today becoming sannyasi, his behavior, there will be a lot of difference, because this person understands. That person has not gone through these phases. So also the experience matters a lot. Just saying I'm humble, okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, oh, you are so nice, please touch your feet. That's basically, it's more of an optics. But if you are really gone through, okay, gone through struggles. Okay, you might have seen sometime, I giving the examples here because that's the most easy for me. If you see some Matajis or Prabhuji, they will be struggling in the kitchen. But end of the day, okay, the kitchen is clean after the cooking and all. It's not that somebody is forcing them, right? But they are doing it out of love. That's the real understanding of Krishna consciousness. And the more seva you do, the humility develops. So, to answer the question, how to develop humility is basically serving. Serving the Lord, serving the devotees of the Lord. Now the question comes, should I go and serve everybody? Yes and no, depending upon what situation you are in. You can, yes, those coming in the temple, you have your timing. Look, you need to adjust. Okay, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. Okay, that, oh, whenever somebody comes, you go and touch their feet, you become humble. It may be an optics. Okay, but even if you are doing arti, which is considered very close relations with Lord, if you are doing with love, with proper care, taking even the minute details of the process, then putting the right thing at the right place, these are minute details, but this also changes our behavior. So there is no straightforward answer, okay, but we have to keep on doing the seva of the Lord, of the devotee, wherever possible. Hare Krishna Mataji. That's my limited understanding. Yes, Prabhu. So with that, we can close this session. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thanks for listening.